Good morning, everybody. I'm working in my pajamas this morning. I got an early start and we're having water issues where I live. We're having a disaster basically in the state that I live in. And yesterday I took a shower in like spitting weird water. And that was great to have a shower. So I'm not complaining. It had been several days. And this morning we're still having water pressure issues and we're under a boil water situation. I am extremely grateful because in my town we've had more electricity than others. And so I've been able to work this week and I have a lot of charting to do today because a lot of my moms and babies have not been as fortunate with things like having groceries and that sort of thing. So I've been doing a lot of troubleshooting all week with everybody to try to get transportation to the hospital, resources, all that stuff. So I wanted to pop in and say hi because I'm getting a lot of messages asking, are you all right? Listen, I'm extremely blessed, and despite the circumstances, I feel like I have nothing to complain about, period. So, especially listening to the stories across the state that I live in and what people are going through, I'm just extremely fortunate. So, we are still unable to get out on the roads. The roads are a mess where I live. We don't have the salt or the snow plows or anything like that. I used to live in New York. I've lived in Colorado and Fort Collins. I lived up in Yonkers, even in Atlanta. Like when I lived in Atlanta, I've lived in Kansas City. I'm used to snow. So my husband and I were prepared and able to handle it as much as we could, not understanding, I think, how unprepared the state is to handle a winter storm like we've had. And it's been very eye-opening. So, anyway, I'm hanging out in my pajamas until, I figure out, do I want to go brave the dribble or do I want to use baby wipes again, to get myself cleaned up for the day? And I really just have telehealth visits and I have a bunch of charting and administrative stuff to do today. So no one's going to see me, but it's hard. Sometimes you don't feel like working when you're in your jammies. That being said, I wanted to give you guys a little update on calorie counting and where I'm at with that. So I have been, I did really, really well. I've lost about 11 pounds on calorie counting, and then I'm sitting at 257. And I guess my body just decided to stall out for a little bit. I'm seeing that a lot over in my Facebook group. So a lot of people are saying, month 1 of calorie counting, they saw a nice drop. And then month 2, their body is fighting them. And I think that's really normal from past experiences on, other types of plans. So I'm kind of messing around with what I'm eating. Hey guys. Oh, Barb's in here and Janine's in here. And hi, Kathy, and hi, Rosemary. Hi, Joe. Hi, Sophia. Hey, J-Dog. I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, it's Keisha. Hi, Keisha. I always forget that you're J-Dog on here. Hi, Barb. Hi, Jean. Hi, Tracy. So I'm messing a little bit with my intake, and I'm also messing with what I'm eating. So, and I've talked about this before, I usually tend to do better on lower carbs, not low carb diet, but you know what I mean, a little bit lower in terms of what I'm eating. So I love to eat fruit, and I really could do like 10 servings of fruit every day. And I've noticed that stalls me out. The other thing, I'm going to just say this, and it's the truth. For me, if I eat a Built Bar a day, my weight loss stops. And we've been talking about this over on the Calorie Counting Facebook group. Several other people have had the same experience. And I don't know if we're just sensitive to like the erythritol, but there's something else in there and I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of the chemical that's in there that we were talking about. But there's something besides the erythritol. in there that's different that I wonder if for me, it just stalls me personally out. I know there's a lot of people that do well on the Built Bars. Um, so I've been focusing a lot on doing, really high quality proteins, lots of veggies, and then working on not eating quite so much fruit. And then, I like my whole grains, but those also sort of mess with me. So thanks, Judy. Thank you for the prayers. I think the state really needs prayers. And if you've watched the news at all, you guys have seen what kind of pickle we're in here. And, I'm a Floridian. So I grew up in Florida. We had a couple of stints where we lived in Texas because my dad was a pastor of a couple different churches here. So we had a couple stints where we lived in Texas, but we never saw weather like this ever, ever, ever. We lived in West Texas. And Florida, I'm very much hurricane prepared. So that actually came in handy this time because of the water situation. I think I said it already. We're under a boil water because there's parasites in our water right now. And when you have gone through hurricanes, you know what that's like, not having electricity, being hot as anything in Florida, and having water issues and all that. So I feel like my husband and I were more prepared because we've been through that. Like, he knows how to get to the water and turn the water off, and things like that. Like, he was running all over town trying to help people in my car, because my car is 4-wheel drive, because you guys know I have to drive out into the country. So I got a car that can handle that. It's a Jeep that can handle that type of traversing the ice. And he was out, doing stuff for other people that have never lived anywhere but in this state and are not used to this type of situation. Our neighbors are like, we've never seen a storm like this. And they're all elderly, retired folks. They're like, we've never seen anything like it, So thanks, guys. So anyway, that's where we're at. So this week I'm working on, the calorie thing, but it's been hard without resources. So our grocery stores are empty. Thankfully I had stocked up and I had a lot of things in our freezer, and I had pre-made some things. And when we've had, the capacity, we've been able to cook some things and that sort of stuff. So we have been okay. My son works, so he works at a place called Raising Cane's. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like a chicken finger place. And so they've been closed all week, but they had one morning that they tried to open to help people out, because Sonic has been open and the line to get through Sonic drive-through has been, down the highway. And Chick-fil-A has not been open. McDonald's has not been open. So Cane's tried to open the morning that we got the boil water order. Well, we didn't have it yet. So my son went into work. They got an order for 650 chicken fingers from the hospital and started working on that. And then the government was like, or the state was like, or the city, I guess it was the state, because we're all the whole state's under boil water, I think. I don't even know. I'm probably talking out of my butt. But anyway, he went in and he was like, came back home. My husband drove him in the 4-wheel drive. He went in for 2 hours and he came home with all of these chicken fingers. I did not eat one of them because I was like, just hold on to them because you're going to need them. So he's been eating on chicken fingers, he and my husband. I've had a lot of fruit. I've had a lot of protein bars and other stuff, in the pantry. So we've been fine. It's been very, very cold. It's 17 degrees here today. The coldest we got was 1 degree. And of course, that's when everyone was out of water and power. So it's been a very interesting week, you guys. It's been a very interesting week. But I've been thinking a lot about, this on top of like pandemic stuff and everything that our country has gone through and the world has gone through. And it really puts a lot into perspective. And I think for me, it's kind of reframed what I do have, especially talking to my patients and seeing huge gaps in what they have. Some of them are fine. And then some of them are like, I have no formula for the baby. and none of the food pantries are open. None of the grocery stores are open. Walmart wasn't open. Target wasn't open. I mean, Walmart is always open, right? And then trying to resource out, where can we find even just a gallon of milk for this mom? It has been very eye-opening to realize how extremely comfortable I have been in my life, and just all that comes with that. It really is very sobering and very humbling, and makes you realize that we really need to try to help each other, you guys. That's why we're around for each other, is to help each other. So thanks, Barb. Thank you. I'm doing well. Please just pray for, if you guys go watch the news and you see, Dallas and Houston and San Antonio and Austin. I have family in Austin. You will just see like devastation, honestly, devastation. I want to say, give a shout out to our truckers out there. There are people in trucks trying to get to us with food and resources, and they're just sitting on the highways because the highways aren't clear. So, you realize how much we need that industry and the people willing to do that. So that's a huge thing. We've not had mail all week. It's been just like surreal. It's been surreal. All the things you take for granted in life. So Myrna says, it makes you appreciate what you have a lot more. We've had an ice storm, but we didn't lose power. So thankful. Right. Yeah. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. I lived in Kansas City for several years. That's where I graduated from nursing school. And we had a situation once where we had a terrible ice storm. I mean, it was the worst ice storm I've ever been through, where all the trees were falling, cracking. It was frightening. We had a wood burning fireplace with a blower on it. So for a whole week, the boys and my husband and I lived in the living room on like sleeping bags in front of the fireplace. And, that to me was worse. But our infrastructure was capable of like clearing the roads and doing, I don't know, it was just, it had a different feel to it. I was in a terrible snowstorm, ice storm up in New York where I still had to go into work. I used to have to sleep at the hospital. In those situations, you don't have anyone to relieve you on your shift. So in nursing, you stay until someone can relieve you. You cannot abandon the patients. So I've had lots of situations like that where even though I may have worked a double or whatever, I still had to sleep there. So I'm very thankful for my situation now, but I feel like that's extremely insensitive to even say that. It's a weird place to be. Barb says, I have friends that drive a semi truck, and they are posting on Facebook that they're having a really hard time out there. Yes. We do need to pray for that industry and the people that are driving those big trucks. Hi, Tracy. Thank you. So anyway, be thankful today. I was laughing at my cup because it said, don't quit your daydream. And I was like, Amy, what's your daydream right now? I think it's okay to hope for better things. And my daydream is for the snow to melt and for us to have the entire state to have consistent water and power and be able to now work on the disaster part of it, because we're going to have a fallout. We're just going to have an extreme fallout over the next few months. And one of my friends that lives a couple hours south of me, she said her town, they're not expecting water and power for at least 3 weeks. So, I want us to get to that point where we can start working now on recovering from this, because we have other things to focus on. And I did glue some fingernails on. I had some in one of my cupboards. And the other night I was sitting there and there's nothing to do, and I was like, I'm going to glue some fingernails on. Isn't that funny, the things that you do? So thanks everybody for your prayers. This came from Target a couple years ago. So, but yeah, I'm still working calorie counting. I'm really, feeling really good. I want to get past this I get stuck at this number and kind of vacillate a couple pounds. So I'm trying to push through it by changing the diet up and changing the calories up. Still doing some calorie cycling. But yeah, it's been very, very interesting, you guys. So excuse the hair, excuse the snowgeddon appearance. That's what we're calling it now. Somebody said Snowvid 21 is what we're calling it here. They're making t-shirts that say I survived Snowvid 21. So it is what it is. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I know a lot of people are not going through this. So, your thoughts and your prayers are really, really appreciated. If you want to just focus more on individual people and what they're going through and not all this other stuff that we're hearing about. I mean, I'm just trying to keep the politics out of it because at this point it's more about my moms and babies and what they're going through. And so we really appreciate your thoughts and prayers and just your kindness. So I will see you guys later. I'll do an update. So I've started to weigh in on Wednesdays. I think I'm going to start doing a weigh-in Wednesday video. So next Wednesday, I will try to get up here and do a weigh-in and see if I can get myself out of 257.2. So let's see next Wednesday if with me messing with calories and stuff, I can get myself out of this spot because I would really like to. Okay, let me know what your goals are and how you're doing. Give me a like on this video. If you like this type of video, if you're just like me or you're just my friend, give me a like on the video. And Barb, awesome job on the weigh-in. I love hearing that. I will see you guys later. Take care out there. Please take care. I know I have a lot of friends that live in the same state. You guys take care, okay? Prayers, thoughts for all of you. And please update me, especially if you live in the state. I would love to hear from you. How are you? Are you okay? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Stay in orbit. Bye.